was a California August in 82 when my mother gave birth to the Spam Tech crew. 13 years later had me looking at Linux. Programming made me stronger like Papa the Spinach. Now, people know that a DG carry weapons, but if that weapon is a nest, you step in. We finish Contra with only one life. Finish Metal Gear 2 using only a knife. Right, people might think that we're frontin', then they see all the news online that I'm putting. My rhymes flow just like my code, even though my source is owned by SCO. What about my Indian? I keep it low. See me on Gunbound, call me pro. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. No. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I said my heart's wide open, goatsy, and my windows min like Ho Chi. I'm just another nerd, but I rap about it. Shit talk on the net, then I laugh about it. I've been caught slipping like the Star Wars kid when I'm on eBay sniping a bid. Catch me on a webcam like Numa Numa. See me at the club and I'm rocking Puma. Another net legend if you see me yodel. Spit a little something that's anecdotal. Tell me about the time the E-bombs world stole your chop like I stole your girl. Catch me on Gen May, not something awful. Low tax would ban me, raffle. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. Yeah. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go, every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. Yeah.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD. And today we're talking wrestling. That's right, it's Tuesday, so we must be talking wrestling. We're going to go over both SmackDown and Raw, as well as AEW Dynamite. I didn't watch Rampage. I definitely didn't watch NXT. I didn't watch Impact. And I probably will never watch the NWA on YouTube. It's just not going to happen. As you can see, going solo again. All my tag team partners have left the building. I don't know what's going on with these people. You know, everybody makes commitments. They say, hey, you know, we want to do this. And then when it comes down to doing shit, ain't nobody here but me. But that's all right. I know where Finbar's at. Finbar is otherwise occupied with work stuff. But other than that, very disappointed in you, Aaron. Very disappointed. All right, who we got in the chat? We have JM De Los Santos. Make the best of what's around. AJ13. What's up, fellas? Late. Supposed to start, a half hour ago? Something like that. 7:35. Kept pushing it back because somebody said, hey, you know what would really help us get into this whole wrestling talk? If we could see pictures or something, right? You can't play video, obviously, because the WWE, AEW, they're gonna strike you. But hey, you know, maybe you could put pictures. So I went ahead and I clicked pictures and I got everything all ready. And then the computer said, sorry, you can't do that. So then I had to try it again. I did it a different way. And the computer said, hey, that's great and all, but you know, you got like 50 pictures and we're only going to show you like 25. So I figured it out. Finally got it figured all out. So that way you guys can see what I am talking about. If you're not familiar with the wrestlers, if you're not familiar with the things that happened, if you didn't watch, you might, get a little visual aid, as you will. With that said, whoever suggested the pictures, you are my least favorite person today. Least favorite. I'm thinking it was you, Jam. Thinking it was you. That said, out of the three, just right off the bat, I'm going to say out of the three, I think I liked AEW the best this week. I wasn't really big on Raw. SmackDown had its moments, but AEW, it was me. Yes, I knew it was you. Hey, what's up, you Super J? Yeah, so like I said, AEW was probably the best. Raw wasn't really feeling it. SmackDown was all right. There was one match on Raw that I really liked, and we'll get to it. The best AEW video ever is the Little Sparkler end of the Moxley Omega match. Just play that one over and over. You know how many strikes we'll get for that? Probably a bunch. All right, let's share the screen. Let's get into this. SmackDown. All right, as you can see, this man here, this lovely gentleman here is Roman Reigns. And he started off SmackDown talking some smack. He was letting people know, he's going to win that tag team title. Of course, he didn't get much out before Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn showed up. Roman Reigns says, the only thing that he's ever really, regretted or being disappointed, he's disappointed in all the time he's wasted on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn says he regrets not hitting Roman with the belt, with the chair sooner. So we're getting a lot of heat, a lot of intensity between these two. And before we can get some blows, before we can see Solo and Roman come to fisticuffs with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Jimmy and Jay jump out of the crowd and they attack Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Expected, but are those wrestlers or YouTubers? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Wrestlers have really look weird nowadays. They're not the larger than life figures that they used to be. So we get this nice little brawl. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are getting beat up by the Usos. Roman's not too happy. When Roman walks off, this is what confused me. And I was hoping that Aaron or someone would be here to kind of help me out with this. But when Roman walks off, he bumps into Solo Sikoa. And Solo kind of gives him a look. And it's my understanding that Roman is supposed to be the head of the family, right? The head of the table, right? So shouldn't Solo have been the one to look away? It made it seem like Roman Reigns is scared of Solo Sikoa. I don't know if that's a thing. If maybe Solo has been built up as this like loose cannon, and if Roman hits him or bumps him too hard, he might go off. I don't know what's going on. Roman Reigns is the new Sting. Every partner friend he ever has is destined to turn on him. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're like planting the seeds of this Roman and Solo thing. And I'm just like, why? Why? Don't do that. All right. So then, of course, Roman's very upset. Tells these guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? I did not tell you to go out there. He had a plan. He was going to take care of business. And Jimmy and Jay, you fucked it up. You ruined his plan. He's not too happy about that. What do we? All right. Bianca's over here sending me links while I'm streaming. And they weren't links to anything important. I'm thinking, oh my God, something's happening. But no. So, yeah. So Roman's pissed off. He's like, hey, you guys didn't follow the plan. I had a plan. You guys are working on your own. I don't like that. You got to fall in line, right? So, typical, the bloodline is falling apart. What's going on? It's going to be really annoying if Bianca keeps sending me links. I'm getting tired of this. I've only been watching wrestling for a couple of weeks, and I'm already sick and tired of all this teasing with the bloodline. Just pull the trigger. Just pull the trigger. All right. So then, first match of the evening, we got the Brawling Brutes on the left here. And on the right is none other than Pretty Deadly? I believe that's what they're called. Let me check. Yeah, that's how memorable some of these teams are, right? Yeah, it's Butch and Ridge Holland versus Pretty Deadly, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Now, Pretty Deadly's, they're doing this whole like male model, pretty boy thing, but they don't have the look. They don't have. Who are these jobbers? Right? They're not even building them up as jobbers. That's what I'm saying. The Brawling Brutes are Sheamus's guys. They're under Sheamus's tutelage. Sheamus is there at ringside, as you can see. He's doing the announcing. Terrible. It's terrible. I don't know why they gave him a mic. They should just let him stand at ringside. Pretty Deadly. They're doing like an American Males kind of model thing. But they don't have the look, right? They don't look. They're kind of pudgy. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke. They have the look. They look like choppers. Yeah, I don't know if this is supposed to be a joke that they don't look that attractive and everyone's saying they are. Or, it's weird. It's weird. But this was an awesome moment. Dude picks them both up and slams them down. He's got them both on his back. Two wrestlers, two jobbers. That was pretty interesting. But of course, Pretty Deadly wins the match. The two jabronis win the match with this little tag team move here. It was like a sidewalk slam plus a reverse cutter type deal. Wasn't a great match. The American Males had the best theme song of all. It was pretty good. Mansoor and Mace do it better. That's what I'm saying. They already got, right? Maximum male models. So why are they bringing in Pretty Deadly? It's like Fandango 2.0. I don't like it. They ain't even good at it. It was a terrible match. Wasn't I'd say C minus. Didn't get me interested. Didn't get me hyped for the show. Then we had what the hell's her name in here? Zelina Vega versus Asuka. Now, normally I don't like women's wrestling. I find it kind of boring. But I don't know. Something about this match is a little more interesting. I don't know. It's just one of those matches where I found something I can enjoy. Finally, someone who looks like a wrestler. There were moments in this match that it looked good. The wrestling was decent. And then there were moments in the match where you can tell Zelina Vega was just running at half speed. The kicks weren't connecting. God bless Tommy End. He gets to go home to Zelina every night. Yeah. Match ended with Asuka putting Zelina in this Rings of Saturn move. I think it's called the Asuka Lock. It's basically Rings of Saturn. Quick tap out. It was all over. But after the match, she wouldn't let it go. Of course, Bianca Belair runs in, chases Asuka off. They get into a little scuffle. Asuka shoots the Asian mist. And this is what confused me, right? So she misses her face. And I don't know if this was a mistake. They missed the cue. If Bianca Belair was too far away, or because it doesn't really hit her, right? It just kind of goes in the air and misses her. The announcers are like, "Oh, did it hit her? We're not sure. Maybe it just barely grazed her." So like even the announcers are like, trying to play this like, "Well, we don't know if it got her. So Bianca comes out and she no-sells it. She fucking no-sells the mist. She's just standing around, fucking staring daggers into Zelina. But then she starts selling it, right? First she's no-selling the mist, then she starts rubbing her eyes, and then she stops selling it, then she's rubbing her eyes again, It's like, did she hit her? Did she? It was just weird. They really should have just, she should have just turned away from the camera and sold as if the miss hit her. It's really dumb for them to like do this. Did she do the Bloodsport blind yell? No, because it didn't really hit her. See, the pictures, it was a good idea. I agree. It keeps me on point. It keeps me to know what we're talking about at the time. It helps you guys, but man, was it a lot of work? I tried to do it. I thought I could do it all in one day, right? I was like, I'll just do it all after, Tuesday, right before the show. And that shit took longer than I thought it was going to take. So, yeah. So I'm probably going to space it out and get it all ready ahead of time. Instead of waiting and going back on Tuesday and getting the images, I'm going to go ahead and probably do them as I watch the wrestling, right? It's probably be the smart move. Yeah, but she no-sold this, and I thought it was pretty stupid. Like I said, you're underselling the mist, right? The mist is supposed to burn, even though it's not in her eye, it should be burning her skin and it should be burning, her face. So she should sell it that way, right? Sell it like if it's still burning, but it didn't get in your eye, right? She no-sold it. It's dumb. All right, then we had this, the Grayson Waller effect. He's having a little sit down with AJ Styles, and look, wrestling. Piper's Pit worked, right? Piper's Pit was awesome. It was fucking fantastic. It's one of the greatest things that wrestling has ever given us. That's it. There don't need to be another. You need to stop with these fucking Piper's Pit wannabe segments. They don't work. It's not something that everybody can do. You need somebody like Piper, who's a great talker, who can fucking ad-lib, who can just go all day. Having people who are not that great on the mic, and then having others who are also not that great on the mic coming in as guests on these little things doesn't work. It doesn't work. It does not make an interesting segment. I was bored. I wanted to fast forward. I was like, please fast forward. And no. Then at the very end of this whole little thing, AJ, you're gonna beat Seth. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna win? And after all that was said and done, and they did other little bullshit. We had a little tease that Grayson Waller and AJ Styles might start a feud. Very, very not excited about that. Again, this is like AJ Styles, former world champion. He was a huge deal in Impact Wrestling. Comes over. Member of the Bullet Club. I think he was a leader of the Bullet Club at one point. Someone can fact check me on that. But he's a pretty big deal, right? He should not be fucking feuding with this nobody dude. Right? This is like some fucking jobber. And you're like, hey, let's have AJ Styles feud with him. Why? This helps AJ Styles in no way, shape, or form. Sure, it's going to help this guy. This guy's going to be able to pick up some in-ring skills, some in-ring psychology. But this feud that they're teasing will not help AJ Styles at all. And he's already getting up in age where AJ doesn't need to be wasting his time doing bullshit. So, I didn't like it at all. Didn't like it. Yes, he was the leader of the Bullet Club, and they kicked him out before he went to the WWE. Yeah, I thought so. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was a big deal. He's a fucking big deal. And now they're just treating him like he's just another mid-carder. Just another fucking nobody. I don't know. Wrestling is becoming really confusing. It would be like, imagine in the old days, Sting went and he challenged for the belt. He lost to Ric Flair, and then suddenly Sting's like tag teaming up with VK Wall Street to take on fucking the Blue Bloods. You're like, what the hell, Sting? Why is Sting doing this, right? Sting should be in the main event. Sting should be out there chasing the gold. What is the Grayson Waller effect? Is it boredom? It's sheer boredom. Sheer boredom. The guy doesn't have it. The guy's not there yet. Don't give these people fucking segments. Doesn't work. All right. Then we had the Street Profits versus LA Knight and Rick Boogs. This was probably one of my favorite matches of the evening. I'm a big Rick Boogs fan. All right, I'm gonna say it. I'm not ashamed. I was booging out all night. But Rick Boogs, to me, he's got the look. He's strong. He connects with the audience. People seem to like him. I went back and I watched some old clips on the WWE channel on YouTube. There was a lot of positive comments. There was a lot of positive comments about Rick Boogs. People seem to like that whole little thing with him and Elias. Street Profits, yeah. Bruh. It's a take on the name Profits, like profits, but it's also profits, like, making money. Yeah, I'm a big Rick Boogs guy. Dude's strong, dude's big. Like I said, he connects with the audience. People like him. He has that heart of gold. What they should do, in my opinion, what they should do is Rick Boogs should be silly out of the ring, serious inside the ring, make him a threat inside the ring, but at the same time, like, oh, he's just a big old lovable goofball, right? So at one point in the match, pulls up one of the fucking Street Profits. He's just fucking benching the shit out of him. I think this is Montez Ford. Yeah. So he's just fucking pressing him, showing off his muscles. Then, he didn't want to make Angelo Dawkins feel left out, so he picks him up and he's curling the shit out of him. Like he's fucking weight. Crowd seemed to love it. I liked it. It was very enjoyable. But of course, there were shenanigans afoot. Rick Boogs accidentally bumps into LA Knight, who was on the ring apron. He knocks LA Knight out. He ends up Montez Ford flying off top rope, landing on Rick Boogs for the win, for the pin. Wasn't that great? You want Boogs to be Big E? Yeah, he could be the next Big E. Boogs is a reimagined Ultimate. He really is, which is weird that they have him lose, though. I should keep him strong. Like I said, the dude is fucking huge. He's strong. I like him with his new haircut. I seen like the old, like when they had the like long hair, and it didn't work too good. But this version of Rick Boogs, I think, is good. I think it connects with the crowd, and I think that if they give him a push, move him towards like a U.S. title or an IC title, I think you'll have a winner in your hand. Either way, lost the match. After the match, there was a little like a digital extra. That's the other thing, right? So apparently WWE has these little digital extras that you can go online and there's a little extra stuff, and it's important stuff. So it's like, hey, you just watched SmackDown, but by the way, there's extra stuff online that you should probably watch because it's important to what the hell's going on. So LA Knight, they interview him and he's saying, he didn't lose. Rick Boogs lost. He's still awesome. And Rick Boogs is a loser. And, he's going to get those Street Profits. He's going to get them come hell or high water. Also, after the match, LA Knight did hit his finisher. I don't know what the hell they call it. But he hit his finisher on Rick Boogs. Because, again, he's blaming Rick Boogs for the loss. All right. Then we had the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They came out, had a match. I thought they were having a match with some nobodies. Boogs will always connect with the crowd. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you not? I don't understand why they don't just, like, you have wrestlers that the crowd loves and that they're, like, behind, and they're like, nah, let's not push those guys. Let's push someone else. I know WWE is high on the profits as singles, but I don't see it either. I think Montez Ford is probably a little bit better than Dawkins, but I think keeping them as a team is probably the best move. But yeah. So we had the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. They still haven't dropped the belt, even though they're no longer on NXT. And like I said, I thought they were fighting some nobodies, right? The announcers really made it seem like they're like fighting some like jobber nobody local team, right? But apparently, The individuals that I found out later, Valentina Ferraz and Yulisa Leon, apparently they are NXT superstars themselves. So Alba Fire, Isla Dawn are facing off against two other NXT superstars, and the announcers make it seem like these are nobodies. Way to bury your own talent, WWE. Good job. Good job. It was a short little match, kind of a squash. They did this weird tag team finisher. It was like a combination stroke gory bomb. It's pretty interesting, but it was one of those finishers that's like the other teammate. You got to beat the shit out of the other teammate, and they're basically got to be out of it before you can even do your finisher. Who are the hot Latinas? Valentina Feroz and Yulisa Leon. Like I said, there's some NXT wrestlers. What's up, Moonsoon? They did the same thing with Daniel Bryan. The whole arena was chanting yes, 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 and they didn't want to give him the belt. I mean, you don't even have to give him the belt, but you can still push him as someone being up there on the card. And the WWF Universe main roster and NXT are different dimensions. Yeah, it's true, but they had the NXT Women's Champions come out, right? They didn't like treat them as nobody. Like they're the NXT Women's Champions. And then they're facing NXT wrestlers, but they're like, oh, they pretended like they're nobodies. They should have just mentioned like these are two other NXT superstars they're facing off against or something. Right? Moonsoon came in flicking the toothpick. Hey, yo. I think AEW really needs a hey, yo moment. But after the match, we went backstage. We had Raquel Rodriguez. She's letting everyone know that apparently Liv Morgan is injured. She's not going to be able to defend the titles. The titles are now vacant. There's going to be like a fatal four-way. Of course, Bayley and Io Sky came out and said, hey, who cares that Liv Morgan's hurt? Because, Dakota Kai is hurt. That's more important. And the two of us are going to kick your ass and whoever partner you get in the upcoming four-way match. It was dumb. Wasn't really needed. I'm not really big on Bayley. I know a lot of people are really big on Bayley, but no, I'm not. I don't see it. All right. Then we had Austin Theory. This guy, I'm also big on this guy. I think Austin Theory is pretty good. He's pretty good on the mic. He's good in the ring. I like his gimmick. He came out. He's talking about how he's got no opponent. He needs a new opponent. He says that, he whipped the shit out of Bobby Lashley and Sheamus the other day. He's like, those guys don't want a piece of me. They know better. And then he starts saying, me and Sheamus got a lot in common. We're both strong, good looking. We both beat John Cena. He said, but the difference is I beat John Cena this year. You beat John Cena like 12 years ago when I was a child. Of course, that makes Sheamus decide that he wants to come out. And I didn't realize Sheamus had been around that long. Also, Sheamus is looking very, very portly. I don't know. Sheamus got that dad bod going on. I remember when he first came around, Sheamus was all cut. He had like all those muscles. He looked like a jacked up leprechaun. Not now. Not so much. Bayley and Io look like midgets. They do. That's because Raquel, she's fucking huge. Yeah, so Sheamus comes out. He pretends like he's going to get on the mic. He's going to talk some shit back. But instead, he's like, fuck it. Boom. Kicks Austin Theory right in the mouth, right in the mush. Lays him out. Walks away. Announcers are like, yep, that's the new U.S. champ's opponent. So, well, it wasn't a great segment. Again, it's weird. Sheamus, former world champion. He's being relegated down to like fighting for the U.S. title. Austin Theory, who I think is actually really good on the mic, who should get a bigger push. He's getting laid out by Sheamus. He should be outsmarting these people. Austin Theory should be the little rat a little cockroach that they can't just squish, right? They keep trying, but he's just one step ahead of them. Always frustrating the heroes. Of course, we had Paul Heyman telling the Usos, hey, all is forgiven. Just go out there and win against the LWO. Just, they're the LWO. They're nobodies. You can do this. You're the Usos. You're representing. Get this shit done. And, of course, we're going to have Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus the Usos. That was the main event. Sheamus looks like he's going to the pub to get a pint. Yeah, that's what they were joking. I don't really watch a whole lot of wrestling anymore. It's so predictable now. I stopped watching in the early 2000s, about, 2005, 6-ish. But it's cool to see what's happening every now and then. Yeah, that's how I was, Moonsoon. I had stopped watching wrestling for the longest. I think it was like, what did I say, 10. I was really big into Impact Wrestling. Hogan came. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Then they started changing shit. I was like, I can still give it a chance. And they were hyping up the 10. 10. They're coming. And then it was just a stupid Hulk Hogan-centered Immortal group. And after that, I was like, I'm out. I don't think there's anything wrong with a former world champ fighting a mid-card champion so long as they are main event quality. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, if you have like, if Sting is holding the mid-card belt, then other main eventers fighting for it is fine. But it's like, if you have a guy who is a mid-carder and you're a former champion, world champion, it's like you're going down a step. It's like I said the other day, right? Back in the old days, the idea was everybody was gunning to be the world champion. Why did you become a wrestler? Why are you in wrestling? Everybody was in wrestling to be the world champion. Now it just seems like people are just in wrestling because, hey, why not? It's a job, right? I'm honestly not high on Theory. I would rather watch Styles, McIntyre, and others better talent. I think he's got a lot of upside. I think Theory's got a lot of upside. Is he on the level of a McIntyre or a Styles yet? No. But I think he can get there. And he's young enough that if they really work on him, they can get him there quick. And he'll be around for a couple years. In my opinion. Now, this was stupid. Okay, so I made sure I got this shot because I need to remind myself about the stupidity. So the Usos, at one point in the match, they got Rey Mysterio up in this double suplex. And Rey Mysterio gets out by kneeing them in the head. Kneeing them in the head. He's upside down. He has no leverage, no momentum, no anything. He can barely reach their head with his knee. He's like tapping them with his knees. And they're like, oh my God. Rey Mysterio's, he's clubbing them with his knees. And he gets out. And I'm like, this is stupid. This is dumb. Rey Mysterio, this little 110-pound guy, should not be breaking free from a double team maneuver. Shouldn't be happening. Then, of course, the Usos were dominating. They were winning. Jay comes. I think this is Jay. Might be Jimmy. I don't know. I can never tell them apart. One of them comes flying off top rope. Almost gets the 3, but of course, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they come down. There's chicanery afoot. What the hell's going on? And boom. Things are turned around. And of course, Santos Escobar, he gets on the top rope. He makes the leap. 1, 2, 3. Usos lose to the LWO. This was an interesting choice. They're teasing that the Usos don't need the bloodline, right? The Usos don't need the bloodline. Roman Reigns is holding them back. It's not good for them. Having them lose, in my opinion, works against them. If they won, they say, look, we won without you. You didn't come down to help us. We had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens try to stop us, but we still won. We pulled out the victory despite the fact that Roman Reigns didn't come out to the ringside, Solo Sikoa didn't come out to the ringside, right? We did this without you. We don't need the bloodline. Having them lose kind of makes it like, yeah, see, you need the bloodline, right? You guys can't get it done without people watching your back. I'd rather this than the trope where the tag champion loses one-on-one to someone for no reason. Yeah, that's true. I hate that too. Tony is Rey Mysterio. The laws of physics don't work on him. Mm-hmm. If Rey were wrestling Andre the Giant, he would body slam him too. You might be right. He'd at least jump on him and Andre would fall over. Of course, the show ended with Roman being very, very disappointed. He whispers something to Solo. We don't really get to pick it up what it is. But it seems like maybe the Usos are in for some punishment, for some discipline from the head of the table. Gotta wait till next week. To find out. Overall, I thought SmackDown was okay. It was okay. Nothing too great. Like I said, there was a match here or there that I liked. The Selena Vega match had moments, but then there was moments where it was like, oh, this is a decent match, and there was moments like, oh, this is a shit match. Why am I watching this? The Street Profits, like I said, I'm big on Rick Boogs. I'm not so big on LA Knight. I know a lot of people are like, LA Knight, and I'm like, I don't see it. He's got a decent look, but when he got on the mic for the interview, the little digital exclusive interview, he didn't really sell me. The Brawling Brutes match was kind of stupid. I don't know why they're building up Pretty Deadly. The decisions that they make, the choices for who they're pushing, it's really confusing to me. I don't know if this is the internet. It's the internet having a little say in it. Vince McMahon fighting with Triple H. I don't know what it is, but LA Knight is a former TNA Impact World Champion. Well, that's like saying he's a former Little League champion. Well, it's not a really big deal. You Super J likes LA Knight, apparently. I don't know. Yeah, push the Miz, have him beat Roman. No, let's not. All right, so that was SmackDown. We're gonna go right into Raw, and then we'll just circle back to AEW. All right, so Raw started off with this was fucking ridiculous. I don't know how they pulled this off. Fucking Brock Lesnar attacks Cody Rhodes. Then he smashes his hand, and his hand and his arm, like the forearm section, with a fucking beer keg. And you hear the keg like bam hit up against the gate here. So I mean he hit him. I don't know, they sold it well. It looked like he fucking hit him. I was impressed. That they went there. Of course, Paul Heyman, he bumbles out. He makes it to the ring. He waddles his fat ass inside. He tells you, hey, I got nothing to do with what just happened with Brock Lesnar. I'm not involved in that Brock Lesnar shit. He's very excited to be on Monday Night Raw. He says they invited him back. He talks shit about Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and he just kicks off the shows. It's kind of a wasted segment. I think they were filling the air, personally. Paul Heyman really didn't add nothing to it. Had no reason to be there. Of course, we get Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They come out. They start talking their shit. They're going to beat Roman Reigns and Solo. Don't worry. We got this. Kevin Owens says, Roman Reigns has dedicated the match to the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika. Well, Kevin Owens is going to dedicate their victory to the best part of the bloodline, the Usos. That's right. He's dedicating their victory to the Usos and trying to drive a little wedge between the bloodline, trying to pry a little, get under their skin, I guess. Those were Sheamus's beer kegs. I wonder if Cody had something under his sleeve to block the impact. He could have. I mean, it looked good. For all the shit people give WWE, that looked good. That was like, I believed it. I was in the moment. I was like, yep, he fucking hit him. Of course, Sami Zayn reminds him they got business to finish tonight. Tonight they got the Imperium 3-on-3 match. Who's going to be their guy? Who's going to help them out? Well, we don't got time for that because the Imperium come down to the ring. That's right, Gunther and the other two. Was it Giovanni and I always forget this guy's name. The little German dude. They come to the ring. It looks like it's going to have a 3-on-2 situation. Oh no, what's going to happen? Don't worry, because Matt Riddle, the original Bro, he comes down, makes the save. Now it's 3-on-3. I don't like Matt Riddle. I'm not feeling him. This looks weird. Put on some fucking shoes. I never understood this idea, right? When you have a gimmick where you're like this weird tribal dude who's like, he doesn't understand civilization, or you're like a caveman or something, not having shoes makes sense. When you're just a normal wrestler without shoes, it's like, why? Why don't you have shoes on? Like, just step on his feet, right? Like, whenever he tries anything, he tries to suplex you, step on his feet. He tries to body slam you, step on his feet. Like, literally, his feet are unprotected. I definitely don't want you drop kicking me when you got no shoes on. So Gunther and them, the Imperium, they take off. But they come back, and there's a little mini brawl, little preview of later tonight. Then we had Ricochet versus Bronson Reed. This match was fucking ridiculous. I love Matt Riddle. Birds fly off from his ass. Matt will eventually get injured. That's why most wrestlers wear boots. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This match, I didn't like at all. I was a big fan of Ricochet. I did watch a little, how's that called? Lucha Underground when he was Prince Puma. I was a big fan of Ricochet. I was like, yes, this guy's good. This guy, I like his look. I like his in-ring ability. But having him go against this Bronson Reed, I didn't like it. They're building him up as a monster. It's weird because they're like pushing Bronson Reed as this monster, but he's not wrestling as a monster, right? Like either have him come out there and dominate the shit out of people, or don't build him up as a monster. He's not muscular. He's just kind of fat. I don't like his look. Ricochet was all over the place. They did the typical, he can't get him down. He's going to keep kicking him. And he's like, oh, he's wobbly. That's played out. Ludwig Kaiser. There you go. Ludwig Kaiser. How do I not remember that? That fade is top notch. Tommy Uyemiko loves Matt Riddle. They could both smoke a blunt. Possibly. So yeah, I wasn't feeling this match. Didn't really like it. Like I said, they're building Bronson Reed as this big monster, and eventually he does pull out the victory by flying off the top rope and landing his fat ass all over Ricochet. And I noticed something. Excuse me. I don't know if this was on purpose. I don't know if this was a coincidence. But it seemed like a lot of matches this week, or at least from, the way we do our week, from Tuesday to Tuesday, Raw, SmackDown, and AEW. A lot of the matches seem to end with top rope maneuvers. There's a lot of splashes. This week is what I'm saying. We saw in the last couple of matches on SmackDown, there was a couple splashes. Here, there's a splash. It's like everybody's jumping off the top rope nowadays. Even when they're like some 450-pound fat ass that doesn't belong on top rope. I found that weird. Then we had the Seth frickin' Rollins little interview segment. Didn't like it. I know what they're going for. They're trying to do that whole Jim Ross, Mick Foley thing. But it worked because Jim Ross made it work, right? Jim Ross doing the interviews, conducting the interviews, made it work. He had the right touch of seriousness, gravitas, and still was in character. He was still Jim Ross, right? You know, peeling back the curtain and diving into the history of mankind, his real life. I don't think it's working so well with Seth Rollins, in my opinion. Then we had Candice LeRae, whatever the hell, versus Zoe Stark. Again, this match, there's moments where it's like they're hitting the shit out of each other, and then there's moments where like they're half running, they're barely connecting. It wasn't great. They're building up Zoe Stark as this like little pit bull fire plug type. I'm not feeling it. At one point, Nikki's outside. She's hugging LeRae, jumping up and down, causing the distraction, allowing Zoe Stark to crash them into the steel steps. Slides her in the ring. Eventually, she does this weird flip. She like flips Candice LeRae and then kicks her in the gut. It looked like a wannabe go to sleep. Again, it wasn't very impressive. Like when you see it in slow motion, you're like, oh, they barely connect, right? They're barely hitting her. She's definitely not hitting her in the face like they're implying. It looked more like she kicked her in the gut. But Zoe Stark picks up the win. Then we have Brock Lesnar. He comes out and he's like, hey, I beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes will not be showing up tonight at Champions. He's on the shelf. I put him on the shelf. There's no way he's coming up. So that means that he has a free night. He's got nothing to do. He's got no opponent. So you know what? Brock Lesnar says, if you want to come out, if you want to mosey on down to the ring, you can volunteer to be his opponent at Night of Champions. And good Lord, Brock Lesnar should not be on the microphone. He's not intimidating. He reminds me of Sid Vicious. Right? Sid Vicious is a big fucker, right? But he gets on the microphone and he sounds like a fucking idiot. Brock Lesnar's the same way, right? Brock Lesnar's a pretty big guy. I think I got like a 50-50 shot at taking out Brock Lesnar. But he gets on the mic, and I'm pretty confident that I can take him out on the mic. Right? I'm not intimidated by his mic work. He needs a Paul Heyman. He needs somebody there. He's supposed to be the monster, the silent killer. So this doesn't work for him. Of course, you know, he made that challenge. Anybody come out? And who came running out? None other than Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is still able to fight. Except not really, because then Brock Lesnar gets him in the Kimura lock, and he's just fucking cranking the shit out of his arm. Like just fucking cranking it. Like, and he's taunting him. He's like, come on, fucking fight me. Fight back. And I'm just like, they're making Cody Rhodes look like a little bitch. Like, is this payback? Hey, you went to AEW and screwed us over. Now we're going to screw the fuck out of you. So Cody Rhodes getting his ass whipped. They make it seem like Brock Lesnar, you know, he wrenches his arm. Just one little extra oomph. You know, oh my God, is Cody Rhodes' arm broken? Did he break his arm? He's going to end his career. That's it. You know Cody Rhodes is going to be at Night of Champions. You know they're fighting. But this was, you know, Brock Lesnar was so dominant that it just makes it seem stupid and that people think that Cody Rhodes would have a chance, right? You can't. It's like wrestling 101, right? You can't have this guy look so weak and then expect people to believe that he's going to beat him at the pay-per-view and then buy it and then want more of it. Then we move over to Alpha Academy. They're taking on the Viking Raiders. Again, you got these two guys, great costumes, Viking Raiders. One dude's fucking huge as fuck. But they're not dominant. They're not scary. They're not pushing them. They're just like jokes. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why go through the trouble of giving these guys a gimmick, a really nice looking costume, entrance? They got a valet, Valhalla. But not pushing them. It's just Alpha Academy. I'm liking them. I'm liking Otis. I'm getting behind Otis. I'm becoming an Otis fan. He gets the hot tag. He's out there beating the shit out of everybody. The crowd is going wild. The crowd actually is behind Otis. I was like, oh my God. The crowd's loving it. What's her name? Is loving it at ringside. I gotta stop sharing. I gotta share the other batch of images. So at one point, Otis, he takes his shirt off. He gets in. He does the fucking worm. He drops a little fucking elbow. Crowd's going wild. Old girl at ringside, she's going wild. Nice little fun moment. It was a fun moment. Wrestling needs more of it. Ultimately, the match ends with Chad Gable picking up the win, picking up the pin. And there was shenanigans, as always. People being chased around ringside. I forget what the hell her name is. The chick that's trying to get Otis to join the Maximum Male Models. She was getting chased around by the other chick, Valhalla. That's what led to the situation in which Chad Gable was able to pull up a roll-up and the win. It was a solid match. Again, I don't understand. The Viking Raiders are supposed to be jobbers. Are they supposed to be a threat? They didn't look like either. It was like a weird, like maybe they're jobbers, maybe they're a threat. I like their look, but I didn't really like the way they had the match. Then we had Shinsuke versus Mr. Nakamura versus Finn Balor. Again, I don't understand the booking, right? One moment, Nakamura is looking really strong. You're booking him. Next moment, he's losing. He's going over. This match, spoiler alert, he loses to Finn Balor. It looked like more like Damian Priest and Nakamura were really the purpose of the match, and Finn Balor was just in there. We got a lot of fighting at ringside between Nakamura and Priest. A lot of shenanigans going on. Ultimately, though, the match ends with Finn Balor jumping on his fucking chest, which I gotta say is probably the most effective move. Fruit roll-up. Yeah. Jumping on a dude's chest, and out of all the moves, it's probably the simplest, and it's probably like the most effective. It would probably actually win in a real fight. We just jumped on a dude really hard. You would think, again, Finn Balor, Nakamura, you would think that this would be a fucking 5-star match. Dave Meltzer would be creaming his pants. Wasn't that good? It felt phoned in. Felt like it was phoned in. Yeah. Then we had Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville. I've never seen Sonya Deville wrestle before. But oh my God, she's a fucking monster. She was just beating the shit out of fucking Raquel Rodriguez. Like, she was hitting her and I was believing it. I was like, man, she's fucking really knocking her teeth in. So this was actually a pretty decent match. But the big Tahana Slam from Raquel Rodriguez ended things. She picks up the W. The former tag team champion, looking strong. But of course, the numbers game. She can't take on 2-on-1. And Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville, trying to work her over. But hey, who's that? Who's that coming from the back? It was none other than Shotzi. Shotzi comes out from the back, and they had this cool little moment where Shotzi tells Raquel Rodriguez to get on the ropes, pull them open, and then Shotzi just fucking jumps through like Superman. Fucking crashes into the bad guys, the Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Of course, this is leading to Shotzi being the fill-in partner for the injured Liv Morgan. Raquel Rodriguez. This was stupid. I'm not big on the man, Becky Lynch. I don't think she's that good of a wrestler. I don't think she has the swagger that they're trying to give her. Trish Stratus, for some reason, she comes out and she's like, "Hey, you owe me everything. I'm the one who paved the way for female wrestlers to get recognition." And I'm just like, really? Do you really believe that? Or is that something stupid they told you to say? Like she goes on this really stupid, like why would you say that? You were barking like a dog for Vince McMahon. You were in all these weird angles. Like you didn't pave the way for anybody. Come on, let's not pretend. It doesn't even work as her being I don't buy Shotzi or Liv as legit. Yeah, I like Liv Morgan myself, but a lot of the women wrestling, it's hard to buy them as legit. Like I said, I was watching them and they're running extra slow, or the moves are barely connecting, and I'm just like, really? Everyone keeps telling me how great they are. I don't know if it's modern wrestling. Trish Stratus has an age. Yes, she has. From the side, in this image, she looks pretty decent. But when you see her face forward, like front on, you see her you could see all the work she had done. Like she definitely had a bunch of work done on her. But of course, this led to Trish flipping the table after Becky Lynch runs her down. It was stupid. I hate contract signings. They're always stupid. They make no sense. This isn't a legitimate sport, right? We don't need to see like how many other matches are on the card that had to sign contracts to have the matches, right? It's like every single match should have a contract signing if this is the precedent you're going to set. It should only be used very sparingly for like really high profile matches, right? I don't think Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus is a high profile match. Becky has that peach. That's it. Becky used to be in the adult film industry. Becky, you're playing. You're playing, JM. I don't think WWE would have hired a former adult film actress. Isn't that Seth Rollins' wife? All right. So earlier in the night, we had an interview with Apollo Crews. It got interrupted by Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. Rhea was calling out Natalie. Of course, Apollo Crews didn't like it. He didn't like that they were taking his airtime. Dominic didn't like that he was interrupting Mommy. So that led to a match being created. Apollo Crews versus Dominic Mysterio. This match was the shits. Drizzling shits. Dominic botched a few things. He went for 3 amigos and then just stopped after the first one into a really weird pin. There was some other just really bad. He's not there yet. I don't understand why they're pushing Dominic Mysterio. I get that he has a lot of heat, but you don't need the win, right? Dominic Mysterio does not need to win in order to get the heat. Him losing can get him just as much heat as him winning, and you don't have to hurt other people's careers in the process. One point, Apollo Crews catches him. This was a nice little moment. He actually caught him, slammed him. Apollo Crews is got a decent physique. He's built. He can wrestle pretty good. I don't understand why they're having him job to Dominic Mysterio. Also, shenanigans abound. Dominic Mysterio's distracting the referee. Rhea Ripley is beating the shit out of Apollo Crews, pushes him into the ring post. Now, look, I can buy Rhea Ripley pushing around 120, 130 pound guys, Rey Mysterio Jr., even a Finn Balor type guy. But there's no way she should be out there pushing around Apollo Crews. Right? Shouldn't be happening. But she does. She pushes him into the ring post. He's knocked out. He's pretty much gone. Referee's counting, getting up there. Apollo Crews gets back up, slides in the ring, and just fucking lays down. He literally slides in and just flops down the rest of the way. Setting himself up perfectly for Dominic Mysterio to jump off the top rope with the frog splash, pick up the win. And again, another top rope maneuver. And then we have main event time. The Imperium, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Matt Riddle. Decent match. Like I said, I don't like Matt Riddle. Put some shoes on. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens looked pretty good. Gunther looked really strong. There was a moment where he was out there slapping Sami Zayn around. Sami pops back up, hits him with the blue thunder bomb. It's a nice little pop from the crowd. And they're teasing Matt Riddle and Gunther. So I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Riddle is the guy who dethrones Gunther. If they let Gunther go over the Honky Tonk Man record, only to then lose to Riddle. Of course, the match ended with Giovanni getting beat by Kevin Owens, doing a swanton. Again, another top rope maneuver. I don't understand. Every match seems to be top rope maneuvers, ending the matches. As far as Monday Night Raw, it was all right. Like I said, there was moments in there that I was excited. But overall, it was just didn't have it. Like that. In the old days, I would sit there and watch a Monday Night Raw from beginning to end on the edge of my seat, every single match, every single moment. And now it's just like background noise, something to have on while I'm watching, while I'm playing games, doing other things. It's not great. It wasn't great. AEW, on the other hand. AEW was really good. Opened up Dynamite with Wardlow. He's very pissed. He says, "Oh, Christian Cage, you're gonna spit in my face. You're gonna spit in my face. Why don't you come out and do it, right? You got the balls. Come on out and do it, Christian." And Wardlow, he's a fucking unit. He's a big guy. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus come moseying down the ring. They get into his face, talking smack. Eventually, Christian does, he does the little, like he's going to spit in them. Fucking Wardlow grabs him by the neck. But numbers game, right? 2-on-1. Eventually, it's going to get to you. And we end up having Luchasaurus choke slam him through a fucking ladder. Ladder gets all busted up. But they're not finished with him. Smack him around some more, get the ladder set in the middle of the ring, allowing Christian to hit him with the Unprettier. They call it something else in AEW, but I remember it as the Unprettier. WWE has so many stars. Why so boring, though? It's because there's too many stars, right? If everybody's a star, nobody's a star, right? I think that's the problem. Kill switch, there it is. Thank you, Jam. And hit him with the kill switch. And I was surprised because, like I said, they busted the shit out of this ladder. And usually when they bust something, that's like, because now it's stiff. But they hit it. It's the Unprettier, always will be. Yeah, I think that's a better name. Kill switch doesn't roll off the tongue. All right, first match of the night: Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. Big Bill Cass. This guy, I think he's got all kind of upside. I don't understand why WWE let him go. Him and Enzo Amore, I thought that was actually a pretty good pairing. As you can see, we got Orange Cassidy's back is hurt. He's got the little strips on it. And that was played up a lot in the match. and Orange Cassidy's back was aching. You know, every once in a while he'd go for something and, oh no, my back hurts. Darby Allin getting the hot tag. This was one of the stupidest moments, right? So he jumps off the rope. He jumps into the ropes, dives off, hits 2 back elbows. They look like the softest back elbows. He barely makes any connection with Big Bill. And Big Bill sells the shit out of it. Like he gets tapped, and Big Bill's like selling it like he got hit with a brogue kick. It was ridiculous. Match ends with the coffin drop. Top rope, just fall back, land on a dude. Darby Allin, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Everyone's always having an Amico day. And Jim Cornette's favorite wrestlers, Pockets, yeah. He was a menace, apparently. Oh. Then it makes sense. It makes sense why you got rid of him. But he looks good. He has a good look. I mean, I guess if he's trouble backstage, get rid of him, yeah. But also, someone had a Tapatio thing, which I found interesting. Then we had Sammy Guevara. He came out, beat some nobody. Let me see what I got the name written down here. What it was. Exodus Prime. Yeah. He wrestled Exodus Prime, squash match. Took that out. After that, FTR, they came out. They jumped Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. Big brawl between these guys, which led to my least favorite moment of the night. This is probably one of the only like spots on AEW I was like, oh, why AEW? So yeah, so we got Jeff Jarrett, his crew. They're fighting with FTR, and we had Karen Jarrett make her AEW debut. Why? We didn't need that. She comes in, low blows, allowing the bad guys to beat up on FTR. That was very, very, I didn't like it. I like W. Morrissey over Big Bill. That's a better name. Yeah. Also, Big Bill and then what the hell is the group they were in? Fuck that. Damn it, I had it. I should have wrote it down. What the hell was that group? The Firm. Yeah, apparently they have been disbanded. After they fought that Ultimate Deletion match against the Hardys, apparently the Firm has been deleted. It's been deleted. They just kind of, announced the announcer just kind of like a throwaway line about it during the last match. All right. Then we had Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Hikaru Shida. They were taking on the Outcast, Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. This was actually a really decent match. For being a women's match, for being, my bias against female wrestlers, I actually thought this was a pretty decent match. Had some moments. A lot of stalling, a lot of, oh my God, both athletes are down. Got to get the hot tags. But there was one moment I thought was pretty fucking wild. So Britt Baker pushes Toni Storm into Ruby Soho, causing Toni Storm to grab Ruby Soho in like a headlock. Then Britt Baker hits fucking Toni Storm with a jumping neck breaker, causing her to fucking DDT Ruby Soho. So she like used Toni Storm to DDT Ruby Soho. I thought that was a pretty decent little maneuver. Unique. I've never seen anything like that. Maybe they do that a lot in AEW. I just haven't been watching it, but I thought that was a pretty cool move. Pretty cool little exchange there. Ultimately, Saraya distracts the referee. Toni Storm gets slid in the spray paint can. Spray paints the face of Britt Baker picks up the win. Outcast and gets the W. Like I said, it was a decent match. Even for a female match, I thought it was pretty good. I think not a big fan of Britt Baker and them, but I think Ruby Soho and Toni Storm did a good job. Big fan of them. I like the little gimmick. Then we had the announcement of announcements, the biggest announcement ever in the history of AEW announcements. Mr. Tony Khan comes out and he announces AEW Saturday Collision premieres live Saturday, June 17th, 8/7 Central. He says, you got to wait for it. We're not going to tell you where. He goes through where the Collision tour is going to go. He names a bunch of cities where they're going to head, but not the place, not the first Collision. You got to wait for that. There's going to be an announcement, like an addendum to this announcement coming up. Which, again, that was weird. Where's Rebel and Jamie Hayter? I think they mentioned Jamie Hayter is injured. That's why she wasn't there. I don't know about Rebel. Punkless Collision. You never know. You never know. I think, again, they haven't announced where the first Collision is. So if they announce like Chicago as the first Collision, CM Punk's going to be there. It's guaranteed. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why they haven't announced it, because if they announce where the first location, you're like, boom. Oh my God, Tony Khan's doing a Phil Adam. He's doing an announcement of an announcement. Yeah. So AEW Collision, which again, like I was saying the other day, right? So you had Rampage that already existed as your B show, but now it's going to be like a C show. Like, is Collision going to be the new Dynamite, and then Dynamite gets pushed down, or is Dynamite still the A show and Collision's the B show, but then Rampage is now the C show? Like, what's the pecking order of shows? Then we had a Falls Count Anywhere. Adam Cole and the JAS were banned from the building. So we're going to get Chris Jericho fighting Roderick Strong. This picture of Chris Jericho here, this isn't what he looks like. He was a lot more tubby. He's a lot more tubby looking. I was very shocked. Very shocked. I was like, man, Chris Jericho seems to have let himself go. So is Punk going to be at Collision or not? I don't know. I don't have any sources in the wrestling world. No inside sources on this one. This was a pretty fun match. They went around the building and went into the stands, went out, around the concession area. At one point, Chris Jericho gets slammed, backdropped onto the counter here. Sells it pretty good. Then Roderick Strong feeds him a nice ice cream. They're selling the ice cream really hard on this. The announcer's going crazy over the Mr. Softy. He's like, oh my God, Mr. Softy. Taz is saying him and Mr. Softy have heat. Eventually, Roderick Strong gets him outside the building. He tricks Jericho to going outside. And of course, Adam Cole, he's waiting right outside. The announcers are like, oh shit, that's right. Adam Cole's banned from the building. He's not banned from outside the building. So Adam Cole and Roderick Strong are doing a number on Chris Jericho. I'd be pissed, though, if I was in attendance. This is one of those matches like, oh, this is awesome to watch at home, right? Because if you're in attendance, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not seeing any of this. Maybe there's a screen that you can watch it. It'd be like, now I'm at the arena watching a TV as if I'm at home. So, yeah. Adam Cole, they beat the shit out of him. Roderick Strong picks up the pin in the dirt. The referee's right there to make the count. Why are the referees wearing gloves? I didn't understand that. A little freaked out by that. This match, fucking great, fantastic. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry versus Roosh. Very pleased with this match. I would say this would be the match of the night. At one point, Jungle Boy is busted open. They're selling it really hard. No, a lot of Jungle Boy coming back. Roosh putting a stop to it. Both men looking really strong. Both men looking really well, really good. There's an exchange where they're on the apron, and this right here, I was like, holy shit, this is like a holy shit moment. Fucking Jungle Boy comes running on the apron towards Roosh. Roosh fucking like back belly suplex, side belly suplexes him right off the fucking apron. And he just fucking crashes hard on the floor. Hard. It looked good. It looked good. Punk will not be at Collision. At the 11th hour, they scrubbed him from the upfronts. That's fucking with money. Swerves are one thing, but you don't fuck with money. Maybe. Where's the JAS? They were banned from the building, so I guess they didn't show up. They weren't smart like Adam Cole. Yeah, so this moment right here where he tosses him off the fucking apron. Loved it. Fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat. Ends up picking up the win, grabbing the tights, grabbing the trunks. I didn't like that. I didn't like the ending. You know, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Good guys shouldn't be grabbing trunks. Earlier in the evening, when Sammy had his match, he did a little promo. I thought he was a bad guy before, but the promo he was doing like a babyface promo, so it's really weird. Really weird. After the match, Preston Vance and Jose, no idea who the fuck they are, but the announcers were like, it's Preston Vance and Jose, and they came out and they attacked Jungle Boy, choking him. Eventually, Darby Allin comes out, tries to make the save. They're choking him out with like wires. Why hasn't Jungle Boy done any work to improve his physique? The only person in real life he might beat is Darby Allin or Pretty Peter Avalon. I don't know. A lot of these guys don't look like they could win in a fight. I could probably take pockets, if we're being honest. Yeah, so eventually, Sammy Guevara, he comes out, evens the odds, 3-on-3. They chase off the bad guys. And in a show of respect, Sammy, Darby Allin, and Jungle Boy, they give each other the look of respect. Then we had Ricky Starks versus Switchblade Jay White. And I swear to God, Ricky Starks looks like the dude from The Mandalorian. If you have seen The Mandalorian, he looks like the other, like the dude that's with Mercedes Moné, with Sasha Banks, the one that's always with them, that group. Swear to God, Ricky Starks looks like that dude. Preston Vance was 10 in the Dark Order. He was the best friend of -1, who was Brody Lee's kid. Ricky Starks looks like The Rock without roids. Yeah, I can see that too. This was another solid match. Ricky Starks did this move where he jumped up onto the top rope, did a little turnaround, DDT. Looked good. I was feeling it. Switchblade did this little turnaround rock bottom type thing. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the quality of this match. Like I said, I haven't really watched AEW that much. I'm not very familiar with these guys' work. But this match sold me on both of them. I think both of them solid performers. Match ended. The other guy, what the hell is his name? Orange something. I don't know. Orange Julius. Fuck if I know. That was this guy's name. Fuck. The dude that's with Switchblade. Fuck's his name. Anyway, he came in with a chair. Fucking Ricky Starks beats him up, takes the chair away, ends up just smacking Switchblade right in front of clear view of the referee, gets himself DQ'd. That little pose Starks does at the top of the ramp loses him all credibility with me. I can't root for a guy who does that. Yeah, I can see that. So that was technically that would be the main event of the evening. But then we had one more thing. That's right, Don Callis. He was going to be there. We'll hear from Don Callis. Tony Schiavone's in the ring with Don Callis. We're going to find out why. Why did Don turn on Kenny Omega? Before we get to that, I want to say I love Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone's a great fucking announcer. But I don't know if he's got some kind of throat issue or if he was sick. But they really shouldn't have put him on the mic this evening. If he sounds like that all the time, then sorry. Tony, you need to retire. But he sounded like his voice was straining. Like he was like really like to get the words out. It's really off-putting because he sounded sickly. It was really off. Ricky Starks was a star in the NWA. That's why Cody got him. Switchblade is the former leader of the Bullet Club. All right. Makes sense. Yeah, so Don Callis says, hey, I didn't turn on Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega turned on me. I made him what he is. If it wasn't for me, Kenny would be nothing. Of course, Kenny eventually comes out. And you got security guards holding back Kenny. Kenny Omega is trying to get to the ring. But that's all right because ends up getting laid out by the hell's their name? Fuck. The dudes. Shit. Fucking shit. Come on, help me out here. They got that weird English name. Come on, JM. I know you know. What are these dudes' names? Fuck. I gotta look it up. Damn it. The Blackpool Combat Club. That's who the fuck they are. The Blackpool Combat Club comes out, beats the shit out of Kenny Omega. They're like, hey, you guys, you're a pussy, Kenny. You ain't shit. But eventually, the Young Bucks and a returning Hangman Page show up. The Elite are back together. And they come in, they do their thing. They beat up on the Blackpool Combat Club. And then they announce it. Hangman Adam Page says, at pay-per-view, the Elite, Blackpool Combat Club, they're going to have a match. Something like weird fucking match. Made it sound like it was a big deal. I like the BCC, former world champs. The Elites are just backyard wrestlers. Yeah, I can see that. Looking at who's in each group. Because you got what? Right now in the Blackpool Combat Club, you got John Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta. Yeah, I think they're better. I don't like the Young Bucks. Hangman Adam Page is pretty decent. I'm not really high on Kenny Omega. Yeah. What else? Anarchy in the Arena. Or some shit like that is the match they're going to have. Everyone was hyped. Paige looks like a hillbilly Snake Plissken. Yeah, I can see that. And that's how the show ended. The show ended with the BCC and the Elite coming to blows and finding out we're going to have a big match coming up. Like I said, AEW was a lot more exciting. I was more on paying attention better to AEW than the WWE. I think the AEW really needs something to break through, though. I don't think they're there. I don't think the AEW has had that moment where you could take them serious. It's like WCW, right? WCW was the second biggest company, but it wasn't until they signed Hogan in '94 that people were like, "Oh, this is serious competition for the WWF, right?" So they need either to sign somebody, like if they signed like a John Cena, or somehow they got like The Rock, or hell, even Hogan, right? Something that's going to make news that people are like make them turn their heads. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sign Roman. No, but you could sign, like I said, you could sign Hogan, Rock. It's not going to happen, right? Because all the big names, obviously WWE would just pay them more just not to sign with AEW. Hogan is toxic. It'll turn heads for a little while, but if you actually signed him and gave him any sort of power, it just fuck you over in the long run. But they need something. They definitely need to go head to head with WWE, right? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how much money the Cons have and how much they're willing to lose, but they need to go head to head with WWE. Either you have to be happy with being second place and never getting the gold, like just happy that you have the silver. But if you want the gold, if they want the gold, they're never going to beat the WWE unless they're going head to head. Unless you can actively get people to stop watching WWE to watch AEW, they're never going to win, right? Because it doesn't seem like they're creating new fans. So either branch out into some other area where you're going to get new fans, have a really big moment, like fucking you signed The Rock, or go head to head with WWE. I mean, Monday Night Raw was going head to head with Nitro for a while, right? It's like 2 years, I think. They were going head to head before the Monday Night Wars, right? Let me see. When did Monday Nitro sign Roman, Brock, Paul Heyman, the Usos to WCW to steal all our talent? Yeah. They got to have big pockets for that, though, right? See, WCW Nitro debuted September 4th, 1995. And we know that it wasn't until the next year, in 96, that we had the big hey yo moment, right? So, yeah, they need to go head to head with the WWE. And even if they lose, right, even if they're getting their asses kicked for a year, scrape, claw, and fight for every fucking inch. If AEW was smart, well, maybe this is dumb, but if it was me, and if I was really trying to make a go of it to beat WWE, I would definitely be on Monday, right? And I would start an hour before Raw. I'd have a 2-hour show, start 1 hour before Raw, and make sure that hour is exciting and wants people to tune in for the end of the show, right? If you can get people away from that first hour of Raw to watch your last hour, I think they'll start making headway. Because if you're not going head to head the entire time, you have the hour lead in, right? Where you can get people to start watching AEW, and hopefully they don't change the channel to go to WWE, right? Like you hook them enough that they stay on your channel and then watch WWE later. That's the way I would do it. I think if they do that, like I said, if you do that for a year, get a base, get a solid story, get people interested, you might slowly but surely get a little momentum. And then it'll trickle down. Then you could have the big moment, like signing Brock or Roman. But that was wrestling for the week. Unfortunately, my compatriots weren't here to share it with me. Looking forward to AEW on Saturday. Looking forward to the new Saturday show, Collision, coming out. It's gonna be something. Who knows? Maybe if if we get more weeks of AEW like this, I think they're going to convert me from a WWE fan to an AEW fan. Because already I'm getting twice as much WWE content as AEW content. And I'm still liking, like this week, I like the AEW content a little more. Right. So what happens with two Amico Forevers? Will you guys go head to head? Well, if you look, we're scheduled, I think, an hour earlier or a half hour earlier to start. Not that that's really on topic, but I'm pretty sure we're either an hour or a half hour ahead. Let me see. He's got his starting. Yeah, so DJC's Amico Forever with the old crew. That's going to start. Let me see. Damn you, DJC. His starts at 8:30. Ours starts at 7:30 my time. So we're going to start an hour before him. So like I said, we're going to do that trick where we get people hooked to our hour. We got DJ Slopes coming this week. And it's going to be a wild Wednesday. I look forward to it. I look forward to the challenge. Oh my God, are you doing the same strategy? It was just a coincidence. DJC Amico Forever is old and busted. TGG Amico Forever is new hotness. It is. Like I said, plus we got DJ Slopes. Plus tomorrow, what time is? Because DJ Slopes has his Shark review coming. It is coming. And I will say I've watched it already. Giving you a little heads up, but I watched it. It's a decent review. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very jealous. Very jealous. But he has that coming out. I want to say like 8 o'clock my time. Because I know, he's over there across the pond. Let's see. DJ Slopes Game Room. His Shark review is 8:30 a.m. my time. So, like 12 hours from now, his Shark review goes live. So, then when he comes on my show, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about what's happening. 1 Slopes is better than 9 Rams. Yeah, exactly. I wasted my time. DJC's video on the Phil letter was him reading it. Man, I know you are. Please stop. Well, my video is just me reading it too, right? But I was the first one. I was the first one to read it. Everyone else just copied me. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's going to be a weird show. It's going to be interesting. We're going head to head. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching the replay. Thank you for the suggestion, JM De Los Santos. The pictures really did help. Kept me on track. Kept me on point. Helped me remember things. This is not the heat stream. You are lost. I think you took the wrong exit, Red Bull. If you get back on the highway, you want to get back on the highway, drive for about 3 miles. The first exit on your left, that's the heat stream. So there you go. All right. As always, love, peace, booty grease. I love this bitch.